Hey guys, welcome back to Linda's Resin Room. So what I thought I would do today is make a big balloon bowl because I haven't done this in a while with this mold. And I love this mold. This was probably the first mold, second mold. The first one had the little flower indention in the center and I didn't like it, so I wanted one that didn't have it, so I bought this. But this was what I learned to do my balloon bowls in, so I thought I wanted to do one today. I have 12 ounces of 1:1 resin mixed up, and it's getting thick. And it is the J Diction 1:1, part A, part B, equal amounts, but you know, I do mine by weight. So I have 380 grams, 12 ounces. I'm going to show you guys the temp. Before we decant, you want your temp 33 to 36 degrees Celsius. So I'm 33.4, which is 92.2 Fahrenheit. Works perfect. I'm going to measure out 30 grams for my white. So I know I'm going to need that for this big bowl. Come on. There we go. 30 grams. That's for the white. Now I can move that out of my way. I've got stones in here. After I do the bloom, I'm going to show you all the stones that I've used, because I've got quite a few different ones down in there, and I do mean quite a few. Most are from Laura's Art Corner. A few are some that I've got from Temu. You know that with Temu, I guess with the tariffs and everything, the prices have just got too outrageous. You can't order from there anymore and get things at a decent price. It's a lot cheaper just to get it off of Amazon. All right, we're going to decant and pour all of this resin into this bowl. I only want this mold filled up halfway because I want to be able to shape my bowl. And I don't want it to be too thick to where when I go to shape it, it's going to break. Or it's going to ripple. You can do that too. So let's get all of this resin out of this container here. I did mix my resin. I also put a little bit of the Unicone Art crushed crystal in my resin. Just a little to give it that little sparkle, because I love that sparkle in my blooms. Okay, come on. Get that away from the bottom. Now let's do one time around the whole cup, and then I'm going to put the cup to drain. Try to get all that off there so it doesn't drip on me as I'm taking it over. Okay, set that down. Now, let's get this scattered out to the corner, and I'm going to go around it and make sure that, my mold is bent up. Might be a problem. I'll go around it to make sure I don't have any. Why is that bent? I don't understand why that's bubbled up. But I do know how to deal with it. This bottom corner seems to be a little higher than the rest of it. So I'm going to equal that out so it's not too thin there. Let me clean this stick off. I'm going to watch it, but I'm going to turn this around, and that should fix my issue. Okay, bubbles, bubbles. This resin degasses very well. I was very surprised that it degassed that well. Had it for a little while, just haven't got around to using it yet. So I thought that's the one we're going to be using now. I know you probably can't keep up with all the different resins I've been using. I just like to try out different ones. Then I know what's good for what. Okay. I don't see any more. All right. I need that. I'm going to go ahead and put my stones in because this resin is not going to probably cover it completely. It's not very deep. But I also don't want to put the white. There's no point putting the white over top of it. And if I do it after I add my colors and things, it messes up the center, I think. Now, I added a lot of different things to this. Just flattening it out. Because I do want to be able to see everything that I put in there. I feel like I'm up a little too much. I'm going to bring this down. Okay, I think that looks good. And it's all covered. Nothing is poking out. Okay. Let me clean this stick off. I'm going to use it for my white too. Alright, we're using all Let's Resin alcohol inks. So I'm going to do aqua. I don't know how many drops that did. I do want to be able to see it. Aquamarine is going to be next. Don't know if we'll get to use all these, but we're going to go in line and use however many we end up getting. Cerulean blue. I wanted to do a blue greenish bowl. Turquoise. I think we're going to get them all. Sapphire blue. I think I went up a little too high over there. He must be getting low. I had to squeeze him a bit. And azure blue. It's going to go right around the edge. Now this one I know is full. And I see a bubble there. Put some in between the spots that looks like it's missed. Okay, I think that's good. We'll let all that move. Where was that bubble? Okay. I think I got him. All right. Now our white. Get my bloom paste. You know, love my bloom paste. I think my stones are a little too over. The color's kind of, I'll drop some more of that color in the center to even that out. Come on, get down in there. You're such a pretty stone. I don't want you to get lost in the mix. I want to be able to see you down in there. There we go. Now, wipe that off again. And drop a few little drops there. All right. Bloom paste. 30 grams, 3 drops. Open halfway. Let it bubble to the end and drop. 1, 2, 3. You don't really have to squeeze it that much. I always scrape the stick off. I scrape it on the stick. Then clean your top. Otherwise it will get caked off. Okay. Get my paper towel from my cup because we're going to need that. Now let's mix this white as our inks are moving. I can feel it getting warm. I always like to start at 33 degrees Celsius when I do this because I take my time and it gives me more time to do my bloom without trying to rush. I don't like using the fast cure. A lot of people love the fast cure for their blooms, but it doesn't work so well with me because I take my time and I guess I'm not quick enough. So I just like to use a regular cure resin. And then in about 6 hours usually, it's ready to demold. What I do is I start checking. Some of them I've had around 4 hours, so I start checking around 4 hours and every 30 minutes thereafter to see if it is not sticky and it will pull away from the edge. Then we know it's time to shape into our bowl. Okay. I don't want streaky white. Now you can take a your dotting tool or toothpick or whatever and go around through this and swirl your color if you like. But I don't do that. To me, the color pulls when I put the white in and start shaping the petals, so I don't see a point. But if that's what you like to do, I've done it a few times, and it does look very pretty. All right, got my white. Pop some bubbles in that before I... Come on, bubbles, stop. All right. Pinch my cup. So y'all know I like to pinch my cup. I put my paper towel right up under the lip. That way it can catch my drips. I'm still going to put my white over top my stones, even though you're not going to see it. It's just easier to start there. And if it is going to blob, then it's behind the stones. Oh gosh, I just drug it right through the resin. Just swirling out all that resin that's left. And I dropped. So we definitely got to pull that. That will blob. For sure will blob. Alrighty. Okay, I think we look good. So we are going to pull at each corner on a lot of petals. I'm just going up to on top of the stones. Don't touch the bottom of your mold so you don't scratch it. Just go along the top of your resin. Okay, and then I'm going to pull up. Well, maybe. Trying to make sure I get the same petal all the way down there. I think I went down further on a couple of them. And yeah. Okay. I think that one can do it. If they look wide enough, I'll pull them through, but some of them don't look like they're quite wide enough. We'll try it and hope for the best. Alright. Now I still am going to swirl my center even though I know my stones are under there. You're not going to see that. It's just a habit. You don't have to do that. Alright guys, fingers crossed that all this blooms. There's just a little bubble. Nope, not a bubble. Is that a stone sticking up? Yeah. Here. It actually was a bubble. It's a bubble that I put in there. Alright, we'll let all this cure up. Now let me show you my stones I used. Laura's Art Corner Mermaid Glass Glitter. Isn't that pretty? Laura's Art Corner Seafoam Blue. It's like a shard, a glass shard. Laura's Art Corner Lucky Green Fine Glass Glitter. Mini Glass Beads. This is teal. Laura's Art Corner. Laura's Art Corner, the Mini Glass Beads Navy. Laura's Art Corner, the Mini Glass Beads Ice Blue. Now, from Temu, I have these little blue stones and green stones. They came in little bags. I think they're crushed shell. They came in little bags, and I just put them in these containers. Dollar Tree. Okay, and then from Temu, I used this blue and silver, and then this green that's got gold, silver, and blues in it. Told you guys I used a lot. Temu, I used these little micro bubbles, the blue and the green one. And last but not least, Temu, I used these blue shells. This is Abingdon shell, I think, and it's a blue one. And that is all the shells that I put in there. I told you guys it was a lot. All right, so we're going to let this cure up. I do find a lot of times with bowls, center doesn't bloom quite as well as everything else. Because, I mean, you can see how well the outside's already bloomed. Because everything, it cures from the inside out. And as it's curing, it's pulling all this resin in. And that's what causes the bloom. So it wouldn't surprise me if this doesn't bloom, but we'll see. It looks like it's bloomed some. But I'll see you guys back in a few hours for me and a few minutes for you, or a few seconds for you guys, and we will shape this bowl then. I'll see you then. All right, guys, so it's ready to demold and shape, and you can tell by when you pull it away from the edge, then it just pulls loose. And it's not sticky at all. So let's see how this looks. Oh, that's so pretty. It's going to make a beautiful bowl. Now, I'm using this bowl. I think I got this at the Dollar Tree a long time ago. They probably still sell them. You know how the Dollar Tree is. They always sell the same things. Okay. Let's see. I like to put the middle one and have it to be up like this. Okay, and I need to pull it over a little bit, looks like. I like to shape this bowl this way when I use this one. Put just a little bit there. That one. And then let's do this one. Usually it fits perfectly the way I want it in this bowl. And I'm going to pull it over just a little that way. Okay. All right, guys. I think I've got him down in there. I love the shape of this bowl. I think this needs to pull over just a little here. Make that one a little bigger. Okay. Okay, just getting it all straightened out. All right, guys. I think I've about got it here. There. And I'm going to let that cure up just like that. And this will be a gorgeous bowl. I might take some silver around the edges, maybe, when it's done. But that one looks crooked. Don't like crooked. Okay. All right, we'll let this cure up, come back, and demold it when it's ready. I'll see you guys then. All right, guys, our bowl is done. So let's just pop this loose. This bowl works really well for these, and they just pop right out. Isn't that pretty? I love shaping that, using that bowl to shape these. It causes them to go at an angle on the ends, and it makes a good size bowl. I think that is so pretty. All right, guys, I'll see you back for the next video. Bye.